So good afternoon, my dear student. How are you? I hope you all are fine. Today we are going to start a new chapter of science, that is friction as a force. So this diagram is very important. You see this diagram, and after writing the definition, you are going to understand, you will be able to understand what friction is. Please write the definition. The force that tends to the force that the force that tends to stop a moving object. Stop a moving object. Understood? Yes. That is known as friction. Or friction is also called as stopping force. What friction is called? Friction is also called as stopping force. This point also you can write. Friction is also called as stopping force. Now, this is R. Now see, what is stopping force? See, suppose there is a block and here force is applied F. Here force F is applied, and in the previous class we have learned that the force causes a body to move. So this is a body, suppose this is a block, and this block is moving over a surface. So this is the body is in motion. One opposite force in the opposite direction, that is friction, acts on the body that tends to stop this body. Is that clear? The force that tends to stop the body, stop a moving body, that is friction, is always acts opposite to the direction of the motion of the force. Okay. Now we will learn the concept of rough surface and smooth surface. Rough surface and smooth surface. Okay. What about the rough surface? What about the smooth surface? So you write down. Smooth surface. No need to do this diagram. Just write down. Smooth surface, less friction. Smooth surface, less friction. Smooth surface has less friction, and rough surface this is R, rough. And rough surface have more friction. Smooth surface have less friction, and rough surface have more friction. What about this point that smooth surface have less friction and rough surface have more friction? You can see here in this diagram there are two person. One person is pushing the block in a smooth surface and another person is pushing the block in a rough surface. Okay, so in this smooth surface friction is less, so he has to apply less force. he will apply less force, less F. Why less F? Because the stopping force is less. So this force is also less. Means this body is easily movable on smooth surface. But in the rough surface, as the stopping force or the friction is high, so the applied force is also high. So this man has to apply more force on this body. So example if I will give, if the ball, if you are rolling the ball on a smooth surface, it will go very easily. It will move very easily. But the same ball, if you are running on a rough surface, it will go, it will also go, but with the lesser speed, because on a rough surface there is more friction. So the ball have a tendency to stop. And if the ball goes on a surface without friction, or with no friction, then it will go without stopping. So now you have understood the definition of friction. Friction means what? Stopping force. Just remember, friction means stopping force. Stop, the force that have a tendency to stop at moving objects.
Friction good or
So
bad?
now we will learn about friction, good or bad. So first we will learn how friction is bad, then we will learn how friction is good. So how friction is bad? Friction wastes energy. Why how it's waste energy? If I will give an example of a moving machine. Suppose in a car, if the friction between the moving parts of the machine is less, then car works better. Example you can give, machine in car or engine of the car. You can give any machine. If the friction is less between the moving parts, then car will run, or any of the machine will run better. So friction serves as a bad role in case of machine. मतलब उनके अंदर जितना घिसाव कम होगा, जितना फ्रिक्शन कम होगा, वो उतना अच्छे से काम करेगा. Okay. Then wearing away of shoes. Wearing, this wearing meanings is old, becoming old, or tearing of the sole of the shoe. Why it is so? Because of friction of your shoe and the road. Wearing of sole of shoe. What is this happening? Wearing of sole of shoe. You must have observed while walking on road, your legs and your shoe suffers friction. So because of that, the sole of shoe get weared. Wearing of, what is this? Sole of shoe. What is the third cause? That same. Okay. Wear out, the first point, that is a repetition of the first point, that is wearing out I'm sorry. So, my dear student, actually there is some problem in the one note. Third point you can note as, I hope you have noted the second point, but if you have not, just rewind the video back and just see it. Thank you for your convenience. Wearing out of machine parts. Wearing out of machine, I'm sorry, of machine parts. I'm sorry, my dear children. Wearing out of machine parts. My dear children, I'm extremely sorry for that because today there is some problem in the touchpad. So I'm extremely sorry for that. Please note it down and let's move to the next part of the today's chapter. Okay. Okay. Now it's all right. Thank you for your cooperation, my dear student. And I'm extremely sorry for today. There was some problem in the touchpad. So now we will learn the good effects of friction. The good effects of friction. What are the good effects of friction? Just note it down. After that only you note it down that enable us to walk on road. Enable us to walk on road. If there would have been no friction, we would not have been walk on road. Not have been able to walk on road. Why? Because our leg would have been slipped on road. Because of friction only, our leg does not slip on road. But if there had been a friction, if there had been no friction, our leg had been slipped on road. Okay. So next is running of car on road. The car runs or any of the vehicle runs on road because of friction. Running of vehicles between the tire of the vehicle and the road. Vehicles on road. If there would have been no friction, it would not have been able for us to run any of the vehicle on the road. So because of friction only, we are able to run vehicles on road. Okay, let's move to the forward part of the chapter. Okay, now we will learn about how to reduce the friction. You know, there are some bad effects of friction also, and there are some good effects of friction also. But how to reduce that bad effect of friction, we will learn now. That is of reducing friction. And again, I'm saying sorry for today's class, what happened, but please ignore that. I'm sharing you the best material that will help you in your exams. So please avoid the disturbances of today's class. I hope you will forgive me for that. Okay. So you all must have been playing in carom. You have all must have been played carom. So before playing carom, we spray some talcum powder over it. Why we do it? To reduce the friction between the striker and the board. So what is the first step we can do? We can use talcum powder. First step we can do is talcum powder, on which we apply it on carom. Remember that. Next is we make surface rub against each other by polishing or smoothing them to reduce friction. So rubbing surface also, by rubbing surface each other, we can reduce friction. Rubbing surface, okay, or by smoothing or polishing. You know we do smooth polish. Why we do it? To reduce friction. So that is done to reduce friction. Smoothening. Okay. Or you can also say polishing. Okay. Was the start step? Now you write here polishing. No. Here you write polishing. What is happening today? I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry for that, my dear children. Polishing. Sorry, my dear student. The next step is polishing. Okay. Now the last step is applying oil. You must have seen your parents or elders applying oil in the cycle or the machine parts to reduce friction. So the next step is you can apply oil. Okay. What it is happening today? The Zoom is not supporting me. Oil. We can apply oil to reduce friction. So for today or this much, my dear student, with this your chapter is over. So please avoid the disturbances to today we faced. I hope you will surely avoid it. You will support me because I hope I provide the best material that any other will not provide you. And I hope you will like this video, and please like and subscribe my channel and share it to your friends who are in help. Thank you.